Hello, my name is Almaguer, and my team is conformed by David Oviedo, Valeria Salinas, Diana Salazar, Alan Camacho, and Nancy Becerra. The environmental problem that we choose is the air pollution in Monterrey. Air pollution refers to the presence of foreign substances in the air that don't belong there, or excessive amount of certain impurities that wouldn't harm us otherwise. The industries freely release different chemicals pollutants, and we can control it because of the effects on the air pollution are often widespread. It is difficult to calculate the number of emissions. Factory processes include a wide range of activities like cleaning and painting. Chemical use in these processes evaporate and sometimes they react with the sunlight and other pollutants, creating the peroxyethyl nitrates, or commonly known as petrochemical smoke. This toxic fog is very dangerous for us. Other things that pollute the air are the cars. You can see every time the smoke billows from your car's exhaust pipes, so there is no denying that vehicles are major contributors to the air pollution. When cars burn gasoline, they emit pollutants. Gasoline fumes escape into the air even when you pump of gasoline into the full tanks. Chemical gases can drift great distance and cause dangerous phenomena like acid rain in populations far away from the origin of the problem.
In this case, the major problem is the increasingly poor air quality in the state of Nuevo León, Mexico. Throughout the years, air pollution has become a huge issue that affects public health and is mainly due to industries, cars and trucks, commercial activities or services, and natural sources. However, we're only going to focus on how much the industries contribute to this kind of pollution, since it's considered the main source of contamination. The importance of this problem is very significant, since it can cause some serious health effects as well as damaging the environment. Some of the short-term effects that this kind of pollution can cause are eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, allergies, and infections, while some of the long-term effects involve lung cancer, brain, liver, and kidney damage, heart disease, among others. On the other hand, the environmental effects that air pollution can cause are damage to crops, animals, forests, rivers, among others. And it also contributes to the depletion of the ozone layer, which protects the earth from the sun's UV rays. Another negative effect of air pollution is the formation of acid rain, which harms trees, soils, rivers, and wildlife. Those are some of the main reasons why air pollution is a serious problem that should not be taken lightly.
Now I'm going to introduce the hypothesis.
For hypothesis, we think that industries pollute more than vehicles in Nuevo León, since industries are constantly releasing gases that pollute the atmosphere. In this video, we'll be focusing in the air pollution, since it is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases, such as sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. Air pollution might come from reliable industries or natural sources. The atmosphere is a complex natural gaseous system that is essential to support life on the planet Earth. A stratospheric ozone depletion due to the air pollution has been recognized as a threat to human health as well as to the Earth's ecosystem. Now, for this hypothesis, we need to establish something. For many years, the smoke in this state has been recognized as a symbol of progress due to the many industries that pollute Nuevo León. But now things have changed and it has become the most polluted city in all Latin America. And this has been attributed to two factors mainly: the car pollution population and the industry population. According to the scientific magazine Ciencia UNL, in 2007, a research was made and the results of vehicles' emission particles were 50-70%, and the next year it decreased to a 37.38%. Now, in 2018, according to El Horizonte, the gas emissions that came from the cars were 77% below the acceptable emissions.
Hi, my name is Camacho, and also I'm going to be talking about the test hypothesis.
Going back to the point about the test hypothesis, the study reveals that the main pollutant in the metropolis area is the so-called PM10. This is produced by the pedreras and the industries, mostly. In the analysis, which covers the years from 2005 to 2014, the PM10 index was constantly above the tolerance range, at an average of 55%. In the case of PM2.5 pollutant, which are particles smaller than 2.5 microns, generated mainly by petroleum and glass industries, the level in the real environment were 84% above the normal in the same period. On the other hand, a pollutant in which cars are among the main generators, such as the ozone, was 77% below the tolerance standard. These standards are governed in accordance with international standards according to their impact on human health. Despite the conclusions of the study, currently CAINTRA, which brings together the industrial sector of Nuevo León, began measuring vehicles pollutants last Monday. Specialists warn that this project, endorsed by the current state administration, points to a verification plan that will be applied at a cost to the autonomous motorists. That is, a new tax.
With a lot of this information, we can conclude that the air pollution and low air quality exist because of the CO2 produced by vehicles and other machines that work with combustibles as petrol or oil. The 95% of the pollution in the air is due to the carbon monoxide produced by cars, as well as the 25% of sulfur dioxide that exists in the ambient. And one of the worst cases of air contamination occurred in Monterrey. It is said that Monterrey is the most air-polluted city in Mexico, according to the OMS data. The principal reason is the overpopulation of vehicles and, as it is a commercial city, of fabrics that also release CO2. Monterrey has a concentration of 86 PM-10 and 35 PM-2.5. It is thought that in 2025, the projection of CO2 will be about 3,132,000, which almost triplicates the ones registered in 2012, that were about 1,890,000. All because of the excess of cars in the city. One of the principal causes of tumors and cancer is the contamination in the city. This also causes a big rate of death and several respiratory diseases that can be treated early, so hundreds of people died without medical assistance. The pollution is becoming a very dangerous problem that needs to be faced by everyone, and one of the principal reasons is the cars.
In general, all types of pollution are bad for us. We need to stop pollute because the pollution is destroying our environment too. And it's not only dangerous for us, also for animals and plants. Throughout, it can cause catastrophic events like acid rain.
This investigation proved how much the industries pollute the air in Nuevo León and why it is important to solve this environmental problem. We believe that it's important to take the necessary measures to avoid contaminating the air and that the industries should be more responsible with their emissions because they're not only affecting our health but the environment as well.
Now, as a personal reflection, this PM made me know more about the air pollution that Nuevo León is suffering. I will personally suggest to ask and do not stop for the government to take care of this issue by, for example, creating laws. Also, the change in the atmosphere will be reduced if all the citizens were conscious and responsible of their acts, talking about the environment.
This PIA made me realize that increased levels of fine particles in the air are linked to health hazards such as heart disease, altering lung function, and lung cancer, which can be very harmful to the human health. Particles are related to respiratory infections that can be harmful to those already suffering from conditions like asthma, that can lead to death. That's why we should start acting now about the pollution of the air, since without air and there is no life, and without no life there are no humans.
Thanks to this research, I was able to identify the reasons behind the air pollution that recently has been noticed more than before in the city. Now I can conclude that most of the cars are worsening the air quality, and it will help me to take some prevention measures to contribute to the preservation of the environment.
Even though we discovered that some of the greatest pollutants in the metropolitan area are some of the chemicals liberated by companies, this doesn't mean that there's nothing that we can do to change the course of our story. Step by step, little grain of sand by little grain of sand, we can start making changes into our lifestyle so that we can have a better life quality, not only for ourselves, but for the future generations. It may seem little compared to what companies actually do, liberating the chemical residue recklessly. But if we add up hundreds of millions of people, this can actually make a change. It's good that we're raising awareness, because if we keep contaminating and consuming without an end, sooner or later we will pay the consequences, and it won't be pretty.